Hi you guys, and welcome back. Today I am going to be doing a highly requested video. I'm going to be doing a drugstore tutorial. So I have lots of different drugstore products here. I will go over all of them with you, but for right now we're going to go ahead and get started with the brows. So I'm going to bring you in closer and we will get started with the brows right away. Okay, I have the City Color Bold Brow, and this is actually a powder, lighter color, darker color, so front of the brow, back of the tail of the brow. I have the e.l.f. brow pencil, and there's no color on it, it just says brow pencil. So I'm gonna actually start with that and see what I think, and then I also have the NYX Tinted Brow Mascara in blonde, and I have the e.l.f. It just says light. I don't know if this, oh, that has a tiny little spoolie on it. That's really nice actually, so we may try that too. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to start with is the actual brow pencil though. So let's see how this goes. That looks dark. That looks really, really dark and super warm. So let me just give it a shot here. I do like that it has a spoolie on there. That's super nice. So I'm going to brush my brow up like I always do so that I can see the line underneath. All right. Let's see. Oh my goodness. All right, let's just try light-handed. Let's try a couple strokes here. Okay. This is definitely not as bad so far as what I was expecting. It has a nice feel to it. It's little and the pigment is good, but it's not like so intense that I'm scared to death of it. Okay. Let's see here. It's not that bad. It pulls real warm on me, and I like more of an ashy tone to my brows. Okay, so I'm gonna spoolie that. Again, this has the spoolie, and I definitely appreciate that. So let's see, I think that looks pretty good. It's just a little eyebrow pencil, and I'm gonna go into the City Color Bold Brow, and I'm gonna dip into the lighter color here and tap a little bit of that off, and I'm just gonna push a little bit of that into the front of my brow. I definitely am one that likes to combine a powder with my pencil. I just think that it fills it in much more naturally than going in with like a really heavy pomade. That's pretty dark. That is definitely pretty dark for me, and that's even putting this blonde color over top of it. Let me see if I can lighten that up anymore, but I don't think that I'm gonna be able to. Okay, we're gonna let that be. I am going to take the darker shade right here, tap it off, and I'm just gonna put a very little bit right here at the tail and bring that out just so that there is some dimension to the brow. Yeah, that's not so bad. it's a little bit more warm than I like. So I'm actually going to take, let me see what these colors look like on my hand. Well, nothing came off on this e.l.f. one. Okay, so I just dipped into it and went to put it on my hand, and there's nothing but like greasy-ish coming off. So I'm not sure that that's a true brow tint, but that may not be such a bad thing considering, oh, it's really oily though. I don't know. Let's see what the NYX, okay. So that definitely has like a cooler undertone to it, which I like that. So I'm going to try the NYX, and I think this has little fibers in it as well. So I'm just going to start at the front and barely, well, that may be too late now. Let's see. Oh my gosh, people are always texting me when I'm filming, and I film super late at night. All right, let's see here. I always, no matter what brow products I'm using, I always set with my Anastasia Beverly Hills clear brow gel because the stuff is like super glue, and I have extremely coarse eyebrows, and they are very unruly, and they will not stay in place, and that is the only product that keeps my brows in place. So I love that. I'm not going to use it since I'm doing all drugstore today, but no matter what brow product I'm using, I always end up using that. This time, all I'm really trying to do is put the brows into the place that I want them to stay. Okay. Very good. I'm going to finish the other brow off, and then I will be back and we will start on our drugstore eyeshadow look. Okay, I am back. I filled in the other brow and move on to me priming my eyes. Now, this is the Ulta Beauty Tinted Eye Primer and Satin Blush. Ah, crud. So it's a color. I don't want a color. Let me see how blushy it is. Very. That's very, very, very blushy. Okay, we're not gonna use that. We will instead just use, oh my goodness, what am I gonna use? This is the Maybelline, I can't remember what this is. Oh, Maybelline Fit Me. And this is really good. So I'm just going to put a little bit on there, and then I will grab my concealer brush that I like to use. Okay. So I'm going to go in there and just pat this on just like I would if I were using a regular eye primer. There's nothing wrong with using concealer to prime your eyes. It's completely fine. I just really like the MAC paint pot because of how oily my lids are. So this, I know that this is not going to keep my shadows from creasing because the oils will definitely break through this. Whereas with the paint pot, because of how thick it is, it really keeps all of them at bay, and I don't have to worry about that. Guys, and I'm going to be using the Flower Beauty, and this is in L01. And I am just going to use this powder to set my eyes real quickly. Now we are going to go ahead and move into our eyeshadow. I only had a few options. I was going to go with Makeup Geek and ColourPop because they are extremely, I mean, they have very, very reasonable prices, and the quality is so good, but I wasn't sure how everybody would feel about that being drugstore, so I went strictly drugstore. So I have this Wet n Wild quad that has these colors in it, and I have a CoverGirl quad that has these colors in it. So I am going to do my best to make a look out of this. I also have the NYX Perfect Filter, which is right here. And I may use that for some of the matte shades. And I have the Catrice Liquid Metal right here. And now this is stunning. Watch this. That is stunning. That is a beautiful, beautiful shade. So I'm definitely going to be using that in the center, probably. Definitely my inner corner highlight. The thing that I'm going to do is grab my little small pencil brush here to do the highlighting. And I typically use my Veramona color switch, but I am actually using the Ulta version of that today as well. Let's see what the brow bone one looks like from the palette. Just a little bit like, let's do that one to start with. We can always change it up if we need to. So I'm just going to take it right at the top. I'm going to grab my transition brush and I'm going to use the Morphe M573 and I am going to start with, all it's called is transition. That's just what it's called. It looks like a nice tan color that would work for transition, so we'll see. I'm going to go up here and just start buffing that in from inner corner to outer corner. That blends no problem. But I have no complaints with that. I think that looks really good. Okay, the next color that I'm going to go into is out of this other 4-pack, and it's this orangish color right here. And I'm going to grab my Wayne Goss number 17. All right, so I'm going to dip into this orange. There's not a lot of kick up from it. Let's see if there's any pigment to it. Not so much. Let's try go with a little. No, I don't think that is really doing much. I didn't even tap my brush off, and I always tap my brush off. And I'm digging. I mean, can you see that? Like, I am like digging into this. Look at how saturated the brush is. I mean, watch. But as far as putting the color down, not a whole lot of that happening. I would definitely say this is a buildable color, but it takes some building. That is for sure. Okay, I'm going to go back to my original blending brush, and I'm going to just go right above that apricot color that we put. Just make sure that we don't have any harsh lines there. All right, and now I am going to go into, all right, I don't have a whole lot to choose from here, so I never put anything sparkly into my crease, but we're going to give it a shot with this Wet n Wild, and the purple color that I'm using is right there. And let's just see what happens when we keep it pretty low on the lid. That's not bad. Now, that has some color. That is definitely better than the CoverGirl palette. Okay. Get a little bit more. That's not too bad. I don't think that's bad at all. I bring that to the outside there. That's not that bad. Okay, so far, I'm going to have to say that the Wet n Wild is blowing the CoverGirl away. Okay, this purple is definitely not bad. I think that I'm going to take my NYX Jumbo Crown, and this is in the color Purple Velvet. And I'm actually going to go right on top of this from about 3/4 of the way in and drag it out. I'm just going to try and help this shadow and see if I can get a better payoff with this down. These are fantastic. These are absolutely fantastic. I have them in almost every color. My two most used are Milk and Black Bean. Those are the two best. I use them for bases on lots and lots of stuff. Okay, now I'm actually going to go back into this purple. And this time I'm going to use a flat synthetic shader brush and dip it in there. And tap that off, and then I'm going to put this right over the purple, and oh yeah, now we're actually, that makes a humongous difference. Okay, that looks nice. That is the kind of payoff I like. Go back into my Wayne Goss, and we're just going to go back into that shimmery purple color and try and blend this out with that same color. And that's working. Okay, see, that is much less patchy now. So I'll do that to the other side. So this is just a perfect example of like when something's not working and not going your way, don't just give up on the look. Just keep trying, and you can always get a lighter color to kind of undo what you've done. That's pretty. I like that. Okay, now for the inner corner, I'm not super thrilled with this CoverGirl palette. But I really wanted to try this lime green color. So let's just see what happens when I put the lime green in the inner corner. Nothing. Nothing happened. Okay, let's try to go back to the Wet n Wild. And we will use the color that they said was for the eyelid, and is a teal. Oh, that's better. I did not expect that. All right, let's bring that toward the middle. Kind of blend those two together. Okay, that's actually pretty. Do the same to the other eye now. Blend them toward the middle there. And then I'm just going to take that blending brush that I had earlier with the purple, and I'm going to take that right in the middle and just do some swirls to blend that teal into that purple. I'm going to grab my Mario Badescu facial with aloe and cucumber. That's what I'm going to use to wet my brush. I just wet my mirror. Oh, jeez. All right. And I'm going to take that right on the inner corner and just make that pretty metallic, which it definitely did. I like that. These colors, truthfully, these perform as far as like being this metallic, like Makeup Geek or ColourPop. Just like that. All right. All right, I am going to grab my Ulta. Oh, it's not open yet. Shoot. Okay, and this is just a black gel eyeliner, and it's called Blackout. And I'm going to run that up against my tight line. We'll see how this works. Take this and do a little bit of cleanup because there was quite a bit of fallout from that purple one, but that doesn't bother me. It cleans up so easily. And this is exactly why I always do my eyes first. Okay, one thing I'm going to say right off the bat is that the black is transferring to my waterline. And with my Marc Jacobs highliner, that does not happen. And that's one of the reasons that I love it. That is truly the only eyeliners I've ever used in my life, though, where they don't transfer. Most do. And I'm pretty spoiled with that, and I don't like that at all. I hate that. Because I want to do something different. Wow, that is a lot of fallout. Hold on. Okay, now I did put my normal primers on. My Tatcha Silk Canvas, I used that. And for my moisturizer, I used the Tatcha Water Gel. And then after I get done with this, I am immediately going to do the Tatcha Violet C Radiance Mask. And then on the top, I'm going to take my NYX Liquid Liner, and I am going to line right along my lash line. And with hooded eyes, it is so hard to do a wing. And that is why you almost never see me actually wearing one. Typically when I do, it would be just like this. I would just do my shadow as my wing liner. But that is about as winged out as I can get, because if you see right here where that crease is at, if I were to bring it back over there, it would skip. So it would look okay with my eyes closed, or it would look okay with my eye open, but it's not going to look okay both ways. Now, I wanted to say about this particular eyeliner, I use this all the time. This is one of my very favorites. So drugstore or not, that is hands down one of the best liquid black liners, drugstore or otherwise. Like I said, I did already put a primer on, but I'm going to go ahead and use this e.l.f. Flawless Primer. The reason that I put so many primers on today is, oh my gosh, what is this? Because I'm using the Wet n Wild, oh my gosh, this is like greasy. Because I'm using the Wet n Wild foundation, I don't want that getting into my skin. That freaks me out, that it's gonna break me out. And this stuff is like, I don't like that either. That is gonna have to take a little bit to set in, that's for sure. It's greasy. That is not a oily girl's dream come true. So I can tell right now by just using it that much, I can already tell you that is going to be a no for me, for sure. But I'm going to have to let that set for a little bit to even, it says poreless. That just accentuated my pores. And that is super, like, remember how I told you when I put that Becca on, it would give like a tacky kind of feeling? This doesn't. It's like, It's just like, it's like oil. It's just like, it feels like tanning lotion. And it smells funny too. Feels, I mean, it's pretty moisturizing on my hands, I'll say that. I'm just afraid that all of my makeup is going to slide off now. Alright, I'm going to take the Catrice. And I'm going to put that right on my inner corner. Woo! Holy moly. That is a highlighter. Wow. Well, that's top shelf. Okay, that is going to be, I mean, I am barely touching it, you guys. Almost afraid to put this up here. I'm using the Ardell Natural in Demi Loves. That's what they look like. They're very, very natural lashes. Alright, so I'm going to set those to the side and let them get tacky. And while that's happening, I don't think that's going to get... Maybe that's how it's supposed to be. Maybe it's supposed to be slick. I'm using the Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation. I have two colors that I'm going to mix together here. And I wouldn't suggest taking that and just putting it on your face, because then you're sticking that back into your foundation, and that's going to get, you're going to have all kinds of germs and bacteria and everything like that. And I am going to go ahead and put the lip scrub on, and this is the e.l.f. and I love this. I've said this before. I think this is amazing. I cannot believe it's $1. And then one of my subscriber friends blew my mind by telling me that the bottom was lip balm. I had no idea. It blew my mind. This stuff, fantastic. This is amazing. I can't believe it's $1. Truly, I cannot believe that it's only $1. Real quick and see how they're doing. Oh, they're already pretty tacky. Alright. I'm going to just set it into place. You guys think about this eye look? I like it a lot. Okay, the primer still feels greasy. Let's just see what happens. Okay, I have two beauty blenders. I have two drugstore. I have the one from Ulta, and then I have the Real Techniques. I'm going to try Ulta on this side and Real Techniques on this side and see if there is a difference between the two. Beauty blender, and like I said, I'm going to use the Ulta one on this side. That primer is a no-go. Like, it really is sliding around. Like, I actually can, like, my beauty blender is actually sliding. You guys that use that, not the Ulta, but the one, that e.l.f. primer. You guys that use the e.l.f. primer, did I do something wrong or what? Because I hear people rave about that primer and I'm confused. It looks good. That foundation, that's the problem. I love it because it looks so stinking good. But I always break out. So I'm hoping that by using the primers that I won't break out. And as far as that Ulta Beauty Blender, that thing was great. I have no problem. I think it looks great. Can you see how nice that's sitting on the skin? And it's not full coverage, but I'm not going for full coverage. I don't like full coverage unless I'm going to an event or something like that. So let's try it with the Real Technique sponge, which is one of my all-time favorites. And the Morphe sponge is, I like it better than the actual Beauty Blender. I got a notification today that my Morphe was on the way, and I got so excited because I thought it was my Jaclyn Hill palette, and I opened it up, and the only thing that shipped was my setting spray, which I ordered at the same time. So I don't know what the heck. Why why they're sending just my setting spray and not the Jaclyn Hill palettes. I don't know. Okay, if I'm comparing the two, they're both good. I mean, they both did a really, really good job. It is wet, but I know that that is because of that primer. Like, can you see up under my eye how, like, if I go like that, it's all going to come off because of that primer that's under there. I'm going to have to set the crud out of this. I'm going to go ahead and use the Beauty, or the Ulta sponge. And I'm going to get more and go back over. Oh, that's buildable. Yep. That is beautifully buildable. My Real Technique sponge in there. And I'm going to take my finger and just go right underneath my eye and just tap out that concealer one more time to make sure that I don't have any creasing. Because once you put this on there, if you have a crease there, then you're setting the crease. Just going to quickly set the rest of my face. And I'm going to go a little bit more ham on the powder today, just because of that primer. And my favorite way to apply powder is with a damp beauty blender, because you don't get that powdery look. Let's do purple on the inside. Let's use the NYX, I think this is Peacock, right? Yes. In the color Peacock, let's do the outside in that. So we did the opposite of what we did on the top of the eyes. And this is the Morphe E36. And I am going to go in first with that green teal color. And I'm going to push that right up into the lash line and blend it just to the middle there. Take the purple and do the same thing where the purple's at. Man, these colors, this is just like, this is tripping me out. I cannot believe these colors. And this is the Prime and Fine. And there is a highlighter and a contour color in here. And I'm just going to use that little brush that comes with my Benefit. And I am, said I love all Catrice products, but I don't know about that one. That looks like it has a pink undertone, not gray. Yeah, that has a pinkish undertone to it. I don't like the BH Cosmetics, my little brush that I'm using for the bronzer. And on one side, it has like glitter in it, and then this side is matte. I'm going to use the matte side. Well, that's pretty. Yeah, that's a pretty color. Purple and teal going. I don't really want to put pink blush on, so let's go with this peachy primrose color. Oh, that's very pigmented. That's pretty. In Boozy Brunch. I'm still going to use my Anastasia highlighting brush because it's just the only one that I think does any good. That's pretty. Okay, how did I not know about this highlight? Okay, that's pretty too. So I like this. This is a yes as well. Alright, so now I'm just going to take the mascara and we'll hit it underneath one more time. And anywhere that we got any of that shadow or powder from when I was doing my complexion. So, I've told you before, when I do my lips, I do right underneath. And then feather it in a little. And then on top, I always want to draw an X where my Cupid's bow is at. Like that. Yep, that's pretty even. And in the middle, this is a really wet formula. Is this a... It says liquid lip. Okay, so that is the finished look. The eyes, I think, turned out absolutely beautiful. I'm definitely going to be using that again, no doubt about it. The foundation's beautiful. I mean, the foundation looks gorgeous. It's sitting absolutely beautiful on my skin. I'm just not a fan of the eyebrow stuff. Was a no, definite no for me. I will stick with my Dior or my new Benefit that I like a lot. I didn't really like the contour at all. And the bronzer was fine, but again, I really like my Too Faced bronzer better. I think it suits my skin better. Okay, so up close look. I think it turned out really good. I'm happy. I hope that I answered some of your questions about using drugstore products. Of course, if you have any questions at all, remember just to ask them in the comments below. I hope that you guys have a wonderful night. Thank you again for all of your love and support. It is greatly appreciated. I hope that you enjoyed this drugstore look. I know that I had a good time doing it. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. Remember, there are no such things as disabilities, only different abilities. I love you all. Take care and God bless.